Merry Christmas, everyone. And if you're watching this and you don't celebrate Christmas, well, a happy holiday season to you and your family. Now, if I've done this right, well, this video is going out on Christmas Day, and I'm going to try and do two things in this video. One, well, we've all heard of the 12 days of Christmas, so I thought I'd do the 12 cars of Cornish car collectors. Well, it's actually 17 cars, but I'm going to do it over 12 videos. That's a video every day, a short feature on each of my cars, sharing where I am with it, what I'm up to with that car, what the plans are, what I like about that car. So please do stay tuned to that. We're starting today and we're going to go for the next 12 days if I can do it. So please do stay tuned to that. And well, what car to start with? I thought we'd start with a silver Ford, but well, it's not this silver Ford. And that leads me on to the second thing that I'm going to try and do in this video. And firstly, a big thank you for your patience on this, because it's been quite a while. But in this video, I'm going to give you an update on where I am with my Ford Sierra Sapphire RS Cosworth restoration. It really is hard to believe that car's been in restoration now for 16 months, and it's been nearly 5 months since my last update. I can't get my head around it. I've restored quite a few cars in the past and things always take longer than you planned, but I really did think that the Sierra Cosworth would be a 6 to 8 month restoration. But if you've been following these videos, then you'll know that I've gone a lot further than I originally intended. So we'll take this silver Ford, which by the way is looking lovely, and actually I've done some work to this. This almost needs a video on its own, but it will feature in the 12 cars of Cornish car collectors, so stay tuned to see an update on this car too over the next few days. But we'll take this car to go and see my other silver Ford there at R&S Motors. I can't quite wait to see it. And in this video, we should be starting the Sierra Cosworth for the first time. I'm really excited about that. And if you're excited to see it, please do subscribe to the channel. It really helps. Right, let's jump in this car and go and see the Cosworth. If this is the first video that you've seen on my Sierra Cosworth restoration, then I urge you to stop this video here and go back and watch the previous features in this series. You'll see that, well, I've been on quite a journey with this car. In those videos, you'll see me purchasing the car from Scotland and bringing it back, the strip down of the car, us finding a few issues with it, and then on to the bodywork restoration and the engine rebuild in the most recent video. I'm sure you'll be as surprised as well I am as to how far I've gone with this car. And then once you've seen those, please do come back to this video for the latest update. And if you have been following this series of videos on my Cosworth since the beginning, well, let me give you a little reminder of where we are, because, well, it's been quite a while. Now, despite me saying right back in that first video that it would be what I thought would be a £6,000 to £7,000 restoration, well, I've gone well beyond that. With the engine out of the car, well, that went off for a full rebuild, and the car itself went in for full restoration and a respray. And once the engine was ready, we did a few modest retro mods to improve the way the engine runs and to, well, modernise it a little. Now, for a full engine update, if you haven't already seen it, do watch the video that's previous to this one in the Sierra series, because you'll see the engine running and running on a dyno, which I thought was really cool. The car was then built back up, the engine refitted, but the new ECU and the wiring loom still needed to be installed. So the car was then moved to where we're going now, where it's been for the past 5 months. As the master techs there at R&S Motors have removed the aftermarket alarm, the aftermarket immobilizer, and resolved many of the previous wiring botches on the Sierra. They've been taking my Sierra back to an as-new finish. R&S Motors is owned and run by a couple of really good friends of mine, and well, they have been absolutely fantastic. Firstly, they've been happy to store and to work on the car in their heated showroom for all of this time, which has suited me given the colder and wetter months are now upon us in the UK. But also, and mainly, I've just been so appreciative of the care and the patience and the support they've given me in managing and working through my car. Their approach has been absolutely spot on. The people that are working on the car have been methodical and, well, sympathetic to what I'm trying to achieve with the Sierra. I really, really am appreciative of it. I really enjoy driving my Ford Cougar, but I'm not entirely sure that I'm enjoying driving it on these wet and dirty roads. This car was so clean when we set off, but then I suppose it's just an excuse to clean this car again and to spend a bit more time with it. Anyway, we're now getting close to R&S Motors, and before we arrive, a request from me to please stay tuned to this video until the end. Remember, this is the first of my 12 cars of Cornish Car Collectors feature, and as such, in these videos, well, I'll be sharing updates on the car, a bit about my ownership experience, all of that, but I'm also going to be rating my cars. I'm going to be ranking them, which is my favourite. So if you want to find out where my Sierra Cosworth is in that ranking, stay tuned to the end. It's actually going to be a really difficult one to call. Here we are then, arriving at R&S Motors. I'm excited. I think I can see the car in the showroom. Yes, I can. Here it is then, and doesn't it look absolutely fantastic here in the showroom under this light? Wow, every time I see this car, it just really motivates me to get cracking on with it and to finish it. It may not look like much has progressed, but believe me, there's been lots of progress. It's been here since July, since the last time that you saw it. One of the things that you might notice on this car is the exhaust pipe. I was never really a fan. I think I've mentioned it on previous videos. I've never been a fan of the angle at which the exit pipe there, the exhaust tailpipe, hangs out of the car. It kind of points down. Well, the team here at R&S Motors have sorted that out and it looks much better, thanks. Also, when I filmed a little bit around the car just now, you may have noticed the lattice wheels. They're looking a bit sorry for themselves, as are the tyres. But not to worry, this is a spare set that I had hanging around the garage that I've put on the car just so that it can sit here on these wheels. The freshly refurbished wheels are at home with new tyres and they're just waiting to go on the car. Right, now for the important bit where all the progress has happened. Let's have a look under the bonnet. Here it is then, my fully wired in engine. Doesn't it look brilliant? I cannot wait to start this in a moment, for me and for you all. I had to buy a few parts as they were working through the car. It's had some new cooling fans fitted. I bought them from Sierra RS. Shout out to those guys, they're always great. So had those installed because the original ones had seized. I think it's a fairly common thing, and actually it burnt out some of the looms. So there's a new loom now for the fans and new fans that have gone in this car. So that's all sorted out. You'll also notice that the aftermarket alarm, which was over there, is gone. The aftermarket immobilizer from inside the car is gone. And also there's aftermarket gauges have been taken out for now. And all that wiring has been removed. In fact, everything really that wasn't standard on a 91 Sapphire Cosworth has been taken out, which is great. The only addition being, of course, the new loom to run these individual coils. Using some wiring diagrams that I got for the 4x4 Cosworth. Every single cable here has been either replaced or it's been tested by the team here at R&S Motors. And now the new ECU sits alongside the original ECU, and it will run the engine and all the ancillaries, or so I'm told. We'll find out in a minute. As for the interior, well, with the exception of those aftermarket gauges being removed, there's no real change in here. And I'm really looking forward to getting this back, getting the car back to me and starting work in here. So there's lots for me to be getting involved with in there. I can't wait to get cracking with that. Now, for the bit that we've all been waiting for, me included, because I haven't actually heard this engine run in this car. Let's see if it will start. Here it goes. Can't sit in the seat, obviously. There isn't one. Here we go. This sounds great. A running Sierra Cosworth. Oh, I just want to drive it. I can't wait. Still two things to do on this car. I hope you can still hear me over the engine running, but I don't want to turn it off. Still two things to do. The first is the rev counter. Strangely, is not really picking up the revs at the moment. So there's a bit more work to do on that. And also the temperature gauge. We know that it's working. We know the thermostat's working. The ECU's picking that up. We know the fans are cutting in when the engine warms up, but it's not reading there on the dash. So two things to do on the dashboard. And well then, this car is ready to come home. Give it one more rev. Just needs to be driven, doesn't it? Right, I'll switch it off and then we'll get back in the Cougar and go home. Can't wait for this car to come back home to me. Just driving away now from R&S Motors here in Saltash, and well, seeing this Sierra Cosworth, and more importantly, hearing it running, well, it's really reignited my passion for that car and my motivation to get it back onto the road. I can't wait to get it home and start to rebuild the interior, meticulously taking each piece and cleaning it and refurbishing it or replacing it if needs be, and spending a couple of months doing that. And I promise you that I'll feature it all here on the channel. I hope you enjoyed hearing it run too. The guys at R&S Motors there in Saltash, absolutely fantastic job, highly recommended, and really good chaps too. I didn't mention it just now when I did the pan around the showroom, but they had a lovely Clio 172 Cup there, a really nice one, something they're holding on to, I think, as maybe a bit of an investment car and something to have a bit of fun in, but a really, really nice one. Here's some photographs of that car. Yeah, cracking. Now this is the first of the 12 cars of Cornish Car Collectors videos, and what better place to start than the Sierra Cosworth? I hope that you agree. And I said earlier on in the video that in these 12 cars of Cornish Car Collector videos, I would rank my cars. I'd tell you which I think is best, and well, I can't say which is worst because none of them are worst. In fact, I love them all. It's going to be really difficult to choose my favourite, but I suppose I do have favourites. They do change. So this ranking that I'll share over the next few videos, well, it's as good as December 2023, because you can guarantee that it will change, well, in the days, weeks and months to come. How will I rank them? Well, it's going to be very much based on my experience of the car, my ownership of the car, the memories that I've made in the car. And as for the Sierra Cosworth, well, for me, right now, given my timeline with that car, it ranks here. And this is one of my dream cars, But it ranks there because I don't think I've built up as many memories or as many experiences as I have with some of the other cars. To see what ranks above it, well, you'll need to keep watching this series of videos and to follow the restoration on the Sierra Cosworth right through to it being finished and me sharing with you all exactly how much it's cost me to rebuild that car. Well, you're going to need to subscribe and keep following the channel. Thanks to those of you that have, and if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please do so. It really helps. And also, don't forget to click like on this video and do let me know your thoughts on the car, on everything to do with my channel. I love to hear from you. Look, thank you so much for watching. A Merry Christmas, everyone. And I look forward to seeing you on the next. Well, in fact, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye for now. Bye-bye.